Hi there, warm welcome. You're watching Times Now's Blueprint Explosive Exclusive with me, Meghana. Well, what had happened to Anamica could have happened to any one of us or our loved ones. On the 9th of February 2012, she was returning from her office when she was abducted from Delhi, gang raped in a moving car and discarded in the fields of Haryana, left to bleed to her death. 3 men were rounded up, and over the last 10-year-long arduous legal trial, they were even sentenced to hang by the trial court and then the High Court, calling it a rarest of the rare case. However, on appeal, the Supreme Court yesterday acquitted all the 3 convicts. They soon will be walking free. Well, it's clear now that the men walked free due to a shoddy probe, bungling of evidence and incorrect procedures of arrest and seizure. But this was no ordinary crime. Let's not lose focus of the fate that Anamica was forced to endure. She was abducted while she returned from work. The fiends allegedly brutalized her by pouring acid into her eyes, inserted a liquor bottle into her. They thrashed her repeatedly with car tools and metal objects and other weapons. They allegedly took turns gang raping her. The autopsy report notes that she eventually died of a head injury, but her death was slow and painful. They threw her into the fields to bleed to her death. The postmortem says that she fought on for 72 to 96 hours before she could fight no more. After the acquittal of all the 3 suspects, the parents of Anamica are heartbroken, but they vow that they will continue to fight the case legally.
मैं समाज पे बहुत उम्मीद रखता हूँ। समाज मेरे साथ में है और जहाँ तक मेरे को समाज ले जाएगा वहाँ तक मैं जाऊँगा। उसके बाद आगे की कार्रवाई समाज करेगी। समाज के साथ में हूँ, समाज मेरे साथ में है।
ये बताइए कि क्या केस को दोबारा खोलने की मांग की जा सकती है?
दोबारा अगर दोबारा नहीं खोलना तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट किस लिए बनाया? दोबारा खोला जाएगा और उसको जो है पूरी कार्रवाई होगी और मुलजिम को फांसी होगी। यहाँ पर 2 पॉइंट हैं, अमीरी और गरीबी। अमीरों का जैसे कहते हैं कि नेता भी है, मंत्री भी है, संतरी भी है और भगवान भी है, गरीब का कोई नहीं है।
The closure, it's a long struggle for the family. The closure, we were expecting some kind of closure, so they would have been, satisfied that finally they can move on in life, but there's no closure. They've lost precious almost 15 years of their life, 20 years of their life, and another 4 or 5 will go. And look at the fear the family is facing because they have another daughter, and they are really scared. In fact, everyone in that Chawla area, they're petrified because these boys are from an adjoining area, and it's not only this, it's a message that anything can happen. Anyone can just pick up any girl in Delhi, the capital of this country.
Well, you too can join Times Now's campaign to fight for justice, fight for Anamica. Here's what Times Now demands. First, a complete reprobe by a central agency like the CBI. Also, a reprobe must be court monitored. Also, this reprobe must be fast-tracked and time-bound. Meanwhile, let's tell you how the defense lawyer who had represented the 3 suspects, he says that a case cannot be made out solely based on circumstantial evidence. Listen in.
So far as courts are concerned, the charges are framed. Whether to prove the charges, evidences are let in. So this is the basis on which the courts are taking a decision. In this case, almost I can say that there is an absence of evidence to prove the charges. The court examined, we made an argument for more than 3 days. And the court clearly examined all the suspects and has rendered a judgment. So it is a case of acquittal because of the absence of evidence. So far as this one is concerned, we have to speak only in terms of law. The police can reopen the investigation and find out who else could have committed it.
So let me go across now to someone who understands the kind of pain that a parent undergoes when this kind of a fate is meted out to their daughter. Asha Devi is joining us, the mother of Nirbhaya. Asha Devi ji, आज जो ये हुआ है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तीनों के तीनों जो अक्यूज है उनको अक्विट कर दिया है. आज एक माँ बाप के दिल पे क्या बीती होगी, इसके बाद क्या हो सकता है, क्योंकि आप लीगल इसके जितने भी मैन्यूवर्स है, लीगली स्पीकिंग जो हो सकता है, आपको ये सब पता है। इसके बाद कुछ भी आशा बची है पेरेंट्स के लिए?
जी नमस्कार। देखिए, ये फैसला सुप्रीम कोर्ट के एक जज ने दिया है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट खत्म नहीं हो गई है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे दुनिया भरोसा करती है, हम भी भरोसा करते हैं, हमें भी इंसाफ मिला है। लेकिन मैं यही कहना चाहूंगी कि जो फैसला जज साहब ने ये दिया है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के नाम पे ये कलंक लगा के गए हैं। जाते जाते इंसान एक ऐसा काम कर जाता है, अच्छा काम कर जाता है कि समाज में परिवार में भी वो एक अच्छा संदेश जाता है जी। लेकिन जज साहब ने जाते जाते जो फैसला दिया है, पूरे देश के बच्चियों को, महिलाओं को हौसला को तोड़ा है और मुजरिमों को उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया है। तो मैं यही कहूंगी कि बहुत अफसर बचा है। मैं सरकार से, उस परिवार के बच्ची के परिवार वालों से मैं यही करना चाहूंगी कि वो अपील करें जी। और सरकार से मैं अपील करना चाहूंगी कि इस फैसले को वापस लिया जाए, दोबारा से इस केस में जांच हो।
तो आप रीप्रोब की बात करें कि दोबारा से ये पूरी जांच पड़ताल हो। नीलम कटारा is also joining us, an activist, someone who has been at the forefront of this fight for human rights, also the basic dignity to the victims, even in death. The least that they should be getting is justice, at least in death, Neelam Katara. But why is it always such a tough uphill fight for the parents? In this case, for example, do you think this is a fit case for a reprobe? Because look at the lapses which were carried out during the entire phase of the investigation. Do you think a reprobe would help?
Definitely a reprobe would help, and it's happening case after case where the Supreme Court or any of the other courts just say that the prosecution was not able to present enough evidence. I mean, that is no reason why a family should not get justice, and no one looks at why the prosecution could not present enough evidence. I've said this again and again that when you come to a police station, they have a whole lot of law and order issues to deal with, and then they have this little investigation, which for them is of course little. And I've said again and again, other countries have a director of prosecution, a director of investigation, which is a separate body. And the person investigating at the grassroots level reports to them, not to the to the district administration. So it's very tough on the SHO to expect him to look after all the processions and various law and order things, as well as investigate. So that is one. So that is where the fault in the system lies, and I'm sure the Supreme Court is well aware of this. I don't know why the Supreme Court and those responsible for making law about this. Apart from this, yes, they should definitely, we cannot accept that because the trial court was mute, as the Supreme Court order says, or what has been there from, or was the prosecution, the evidence investigation was not good, or the prosecution was not good, so a family should not get justice. I mean, I'm sorry to have to say this, but I wish some of the Supreme Court judges would go into a trial court and see what it is. I mean, Asha Devi ji would also say, in Delhi, it is slightly better than the other places. I mean, absolutely. The thing, you're pushed around from place to place, day after day after day, 400 I had to sit through in the trial court. I mean, I'm not saying I did it for my son, but it may not be possible for everyone. So I don't think any family should be denied justice.
Absolutely.
Of the fault of the system.
You had to fight the system, literally fight with the system during the Upar trial. Asha Devi had to endure that during the Nirbhaya trial. And unfortunately today, and that is the next big breaking news, the father of Anamica too is fighting an uphill task in trying to ask for justice. In fact, her father has arrived at the Dwarka district DCP office. He's seeking for protection of the family, saying that now that the 3 convicts are going to be acquitted, they deserve to have some kind of protection. That's the letter there on your screens. Let me go across to Neelashish, our legal editor. Neelashish, what have they contended in that letter that they've written to the police?
Well, absolutely. At this point, we're outside the DCP's office here in Dwarka district, wherein inside the father of the victim of Anamica is still here. He's waiting to meet submitted an application wherein it's been clearly stated that even during the court proceedings in court, these boys who are now acquitted, they used to issue life threats to the father, and now that they're going to be set free, that they'll be coming out and they live in nearby areas, that they need to be given protection because they are afraid for their life, their security, and in that light they require security to the family, given the fact that there are severe security concerns and given the fact that they have been living in nearby areas itself, and that they have a notorious past, their history, their criminal record is not clean either. Above and beyond this particular case also, they have known to be involved and engaged in other notorious activities and committing other crimes.
In fact, it's heart-wrenching to think that the family now are literally pleading for help. Asha Dedi, if I can come back to you, अभी जो पेरेंट्स है अनामिका के, वो बोल रहे हैं कि हमारी जान अभी खतरे में है. हमने ऐसा देखा है, वो बाबा राम रहीम के केस में भी ऐसा हुआ है, बिल्किस बानो में भी ऐसा हुआ है, जहां पर एक पेट्रनेज, एक तरफ का नॉर्मल सी आ गया है ऐसे हीनस क्राइम्स अगेंस्ट वुमेन में. आपको लगता है कि शायद हमारा जो माइंडसेट है वो अब तक नहीं बदला, चाहे कोई भी बातें की जाए, बड़ी-बड़ी बातें बोलते हैं, मगर माइंडसेट
बिल्कुल नहीं बदला. अब तक तो हम समाज के तौर पे समाज को कह रहे थे कि समाज का मानसिकता खराब है. अब तो हमें लगता है कि कोर्ट का सिस्टम का, पूरे सिस्टम का मानसिकता पुरुषों के खिलाफ चला गया. उनको बदलने की जरूरत है. आप ऐसे फैसला कैसे दे सकते हैं कि लोअर कोर्ट से हाई कोर्ट से फांसी हुई है, आप एकदम बरी कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको लगता है कि नहीं, प्रूफ सही नहीं है या जांच सही नहीं है, तो जो जांच करने वाले हैं पुलिस को तलब करिए, कोर्ट को तलब करिए. लेकिन आप एक तरफा फैसला ऐसे नहीं दे सकते कि हत्या और मर्डर उस बच्ची के साथ जिस तरह से बर्बरता हुई है, क्या वो झूठा है? 10 साल से उसके माँ बाप दर भटक के एक उम्मीद लगाए थे कि नहीं हमें इंसाफ मिलेगा, लेकिन सजा तो उनको मिल गई.
सजा तो माँ बाप को मिली है. A very heart-wrenching statement they're coming in from a mother who knows how it feels like to fight the system. Neelam Katara ji, I'd like to give you the final word. What can be done next? Because you know the legal rope. What are the avenues open to the parents now when they feel that the Supreme Court itself has acquitted the 3 suspects?
Well, I think the Supreme Court could take a suo motu decision to reopen the case, or the parents could go in for a review, which should be an actual review. And I think enough will come out. I think the family is from Uttarakhand, and if they're still living in Uttarakhand, I think the Uttarakhand government should rise to the occasion and take this forward. Not leave it to the family to fight on their own. I mean, there is a limit up to which parents can fight. And you're completely financially finished and mentally, emotionally finished when fighting a case in the Indian courts. So I don't know what the Uttarakhand government does. I mean, we had this case, Ankita case over here, which was in Uttarakhand.
Right.
And that's just hanging midair. So I think the government should take it on, or the Supreme Court should, if there is a suo motu way, get it reopened, get it...
Right.
In fact, get the investigation done again, find out all the loopholes, and also put the High Court and the trial court judgments up there. I'm sure they carry some value.
Yes, we played out some of the reactions of the High Court, saying that they were like hounds who were sniffing out a scent. That's what the High Court had said. Let me go across to Yogita Bhayana also, who's joining us. You're an activist, Yogita, but more importantly, you've stood by these parents as they fought this long 10-year legal trial. What next for the parents? Are you, as well as the parents, thinking about asking for a reprobe, going in for a curative? What are you looking at legally?
See, legally, we sat down with a lot of people from the family and the well-wishers this morning. I'm still with the father. We are here at DCP office to ask for his protection. I'm with him since yesterday with the family, because I am devastated. Like, I don't know how to justify even speaking about this case, because we are shattered beyond words. Yesterday I was in the court when this happened, and I broke down because I don't know how do we call it justice. It is in fact a grave injustice to this family, to the whole society. Now while we are talking, these culprits are out. Maybe now or maybe tomorrow morning latest. And then they are between us We don't know these monsters, where the session court also mentioned in their judgment, High Court also said, as you just read it out, do you think they deserve to be out? I mean, the least we were expecting, okay, they might get reduce their sentence or might convert it into life imprisonment. That also was not justified for these monsters and these beasts, what they have done to this girl. But setting them free within 24 hours is like beyond words. It's a blot on history. It's a black day. Yesterday was a black day of the history. Not only Bilkis Bano, that was another case where we were shocked. But this is like every time we are hearing acquittals of rapists are coming forward, like Ram Rahim talking openly, giving preaching. What message are we giving to the society? I don't know how to even react now. We are definitely going for our legal remedies. We are not leaving it like this here. I am with the family. I think thank you for the media support, for reaching out, especially your channel has stood with us. I have seen the reporter, since yesterday, he's been putting a lot of effort. You guys are raising it up. Thank you so much. Because of you, we might see the light of the day. But we are not leaving it at this. We are definitely taking this up. We are exploring the legal remedies. We are reaching out to the experts and we'll figure it out. But we are not leaving at this. This is not done. This is not justice. This is not judiciary. I don't know why if they doubt their own session court, they should shut.
Well, there seems to be a bit of a problem there with the video link, but Yogita Bhanayana, she is with the family members even as we speak. Understandably, it's hard for her to speak and come for this live, but then she has made this appeal that the fight for Anamica must continue. You too can join in Times Now's campaign and ensure that India may have failed Anamica once, but at least now we don't allow justice to slip away. Thank you so much, Neendam Katara ji, for joining us, as well as Asha Devi and Yogita Bhanayana. This is going to be Times Now's campaign. We will persist.